There are World Cups in lead in just a few days, and this is the time when we often make a simulation of a real competition, of a real competition style routes. We have two routes prepared for us, for me and Martin Stranik, my teammate, who is going for all of these World Cups as well, and two routes that should be the simulation of a semi-final and finals of the World Cup. So we made two routes for warm-up, and now it's 6 minutes observation time for the semi-final route, just like on the World Cup. So time starting now. So this is our isolation zone, and right after the observation it's really important to repeat the moves for yourself again. So if you repeat it a few times right after having done the observation, then you're pretty sure you remember everything, unless it's like super long route. So we'll try to go through it together again.
It's important to have more options of hard sequences, and then on the wall you can decide which one is best for you.
Podskočíš dál, takhle. Teď Jesko, buď to protáhneš a cvakáš z vrchu, anebo neprotahuješ a jdeš, a už musíš cvaknout a jdeš křížem. I thought the blue route was more of my style. It was more also about slopers. There were some good heel hooks, and as I was climbing it, I felt pretty solid most of the time. It was pretty much as intense as I imagined. Right in the middle of the overhang, there was one section that we thought that would be a good rest, like crossing under into a good crimp. And the crimp was actually quite okay, but the footholds were so bad that there was no chance to like actually stopping and resting. So all in all, the route was pretty much quite intense from the beginning all the way to the top. But I felt pretty fresh. But there was this section in the end of the overhang where I put the right heel hook, took the right hand crimp. This one was good, but it was turned like sideways into the gas stone, which made the left foothold not so good. But I was pretty confident that I would get the next side pull crimp and I would continue. But somehow as I was going, I actually realized, ooh, this move is actually hard. And all of a sudden I slipped a little bit, but I think if this move was in the competition, many people would fall, and hard to say if somebody would pass through this movement.
Hnedka na úvodu mě překvapilo dlouhý nátah, který se mi nepodařilo na poprvé udělat. Musel jsem se tam vrátit a udělat ho znovu, což mi vzalo trošku síly. Prostřední pasáž, ta se mi líbila moc, tam jsem využíval hodně kozí nohy, hodně jsem se tam kroutil v malých lištách a díky tomu se mi podařilo projít tady tou pasáží poměrně snadno. A dole jsem až pod hranu převisu, kde jsem na bandasky spadnul úplně vyčerpaný.
Last few days it has been really humid and hot. Today it's actually colder. It is raining, but I think the humidity is even higher. And especially when it comes to like slopey pinches and slopers, it definitely plays a big role. And that's a factor that route setters has to consider as well. teď je blbý, že si myslím, že máš expresku tady a ještě nad sebou. A ta nad sebou se bude taky blbě cvakat. Možná jestli tahle je aspoň trošku dobrá, tak cvaknu tak. Že pak máš tak, levá noha je tady, jedna, druhá, z tohohle si myslím, že už právě necvakneš a tady z těch kostek už taky necvakneš. No.
Je těžký začátek, tak jak se teďka ty cesty stavějí, tak na ten se teda netěším. Tak bude to chtít přijít začátek a pak už to rozjet a jet v takovém rytmu.
No, ten začátek toho převisu, tam asi ještě budeš muset být tak klidnej, možná se někde sklidníš. A pak na konci toho převisu už to přechází do jako hrubé silové vytrvalosti, no a headwall je těžký, no. Asi bez namagování, bez odpočívání, uvidíme, no.
Ale těším se do stisku, prostě.
The red route had quite okay start. There was a pretty good rest at the fifth bolt, but right after that it got really intense. I would say much more intense than I expected. The moves are really powerful, the clips were hard, and then there was this really hard crossing under move into a side pull, and this release of the right hand and moving your body to the right. That was a move where I really had to dig deep, and I got a little bit out of confidence. All of a sudden, from like cruising mode, I got into the fighting mode. And even though the route got a little bit easier right after that, I basically skipped a place which could have been maybe a little bit of rest. It was this fat pinch where you should have clipped the quick draw below and also the one higher. Instead, I just didn't stop. I kept going. I didn't feel like too tired, but at a certain point I got this right hand side pull and it was obvious that I had to clip, and this clip was just really desperate. I somehow clipped it, but then I just gassed out right in the following move, which actually wasn't bad. I was just all of a sudden too pumped. It was a little bit frustrating because it was definitely a reading mistake, but that's why we do these simulations.
Hnedka vlastně u nějaké 4. 5. expresky byl docela slušný odpočinek, takže se dalo trošku vorazit a naplánovat si ten velký převis před sebou. Hnedka tady po tom odpočinku následovala těžká pasáž po lištách a stiscích, kde teda jako rychle docházela síla. A jakmile skončily stisky, tak mě hodně překvapil těžký kříž do malé lišty, kde jsem téměř vypadnul. Pokračoval jsem dál, dostal jsem se do velkého stisku pod hranou, kde jsem si ještě s vypětím posledních sil se snažil trošku odpočinout. Přidal jsem 2 kroky a spadnul zase úplně vyčerpaný.
The routes were rather on the shorter and more bouldery, more power endurance side, which it's kind of hard to tell whether it is or not my style.
Spoustu let jsem se věnoval boulderingu, takže mě ty super dlouhé cesty, třeba o 40 krocích, až tolik nesedějí, i když se snažím to trošku natrénovat. A naopak právě tady ty cesty okolo těch 20-30 kroků, kde vlastně si člověk nemůže odpočinout a musí pořád valit, tak mě docela vyhovujou, seděj.
We also make these simulations to kind of get the nice feeling, to boost the confidence, to get the feeling that yes, I'm strong, I'm climbing well, I'm reading the routes on my onside try really good. So from that perspective, today was maybe not the best. I was hoping I would feel maybe a little more confident, but on the other hand, there is something to learn. I made some reading mistakes, and the good news that I still have a few more days for the upcoming competitions.